Going on, beautiful people? This is Blue Nola. I am back in the building with another video. Hope all is well. So this one is actually going to be a promotional video that I put before the actual video, and this is just to tell you, don't forget to sign up with me, book with me at bluenolatarot.com for your reading. Listen, I have a really great sale going on right now, again on my website at bluenolatarot.com. You can do your basic readings, you can do your spiritual readings, you can combine the two, you can do a phone call reading, or you can do a video upload where I send it to you. All right. So again, this is Blue Nola. Don't forget to book with me at bluenolatarot.com. And again, if you decide to do a phone call reading, I will call you at your designated time. If you decide to do a video reading, I will record it for you and send it to your email address. Okay. So it's like you get your own personalized YouTube video. Again, don't forget you can book with me at bluenolatarot.com. I look forward to reading for you. Have a great day. Stay blessed. And stay tuned for the next video that's coming out. All right. Have a great day. Take care. Bye-bye.
On the thing that you could stand on?
Like a step rail or something of the car? Because it was an SUV, that the car you guys were in, right? So as the door is open, and he's
it's like he has to have like 1 foot inside of the car.
Yeah.
And he's like shooting over the door.
Over the door. He's leaning over. And then when he's shooting over the door, you have a clear line of sight. And you see it's Tory, and he's holding the gun shooting. Okay. You saw him holding the gun? Was anybody else standing next to him, or how was his positioning?
So it's the security guard driving, me and the passenger. Kelsey is behind me, and Tory is behind the driver. Okay. So, like, he had to get over her to even shoot at me.
So was he out of the vehicle, or is it from
so
inside?
So you know how you can like stand out of the car, like you're like standing over the door. That's how he was
so
shooting.
like the door's open.
Yes.
And then he would be standing in the threshold, kind of almost.
But like over the window.
Okay, but leaning over the window. So he's actually still
in the car.
But kind of. Gotcha. Okay, so
people, this is your girl Blue Nola. I'm back in the building with another video. Hope all is well and you're well. So let's get into it. So I have been on social. I have been off the grid, honestly. Still taking care of my clients. So again, I did a video before this video to let you know you can book with me. But we're gonna focus our attention on a few people, and I'm gonna throw out a few videos and on a few topics that I've been seeing. The first one, let's just go ahead and get into the one about Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez. I really want to talk about this because I see that Tory Lanez has been trying his hardest to like connect with different people in order to help him with his actual pardon, right? So he looks like he's kind of, I don't want to say giving up on the appeal process, but I did look at his record and it looks like he hasn't filed anything for his appeal since 2024. So it looks like he's trying to go the route of having someone give him a pardon. He had hooked up with this lady. I don't want to say farmer, but she's a congresswoman on the Republican side, and he was asking for her help. And a lot of people seem to get annoyed with Tory Lanez, the constant, they feel like it's harassment. But at the end of the day, they got people every day that they're in jail, whether they're guilty or not, and they're filing appeals and motions and asking for pardons. We just hear about it because he's Tory Lanez, right? And he's reaching out. He and his father, his family, they're reaching out to their, famous friends and constituents or Republicans or what have you to help them fight this fight that he's in. So I think that we need to understand, like, people do this all day long, right? It's happening. I just saw one of the ladies from the Housewives. She just filed an appeal, which was actually recently denied. So again, she's not as big as Tory Lanez, but people do it. It's just that we hear about it on the Tory Lanez side, right? So there was this alleged new information that came out. There was a video where the witness, Sean Kelly, who took the stand, he was describing the situation where he said he saw a woman, right? Looked like two women were fighting. He even went on to kind of say like he saw it would appear to be a woman shooting, but then he kind of backed up a little bit and said is dark and I really wasn't sure. So I went and I found this video where Megan Thee Stallion was talking about like the position of how the shooting took place. And in this video, you'll see it in a minute because I did capture it. She talked about how she was on the passenger side. The driver was where he was supposed to be. Kelsey was behind her and Tory was behind the driver. Basically, in a nutshell, when all hell broke loose, what she's basically saying is some kind of way Tory, right there in this huge SUV, Tory crossed over and went where Kelsey was sitting and basically put himself in a position to shoot her, right? She described it very clearly, like he was standing, like in the SUVs. Like my sister has a big SUV where you can kind of stand up, and he was shooting over the glass. So I could see how the male person who was observing this situation could have seen a female that was in that position and could have seen something where it appeared to be something. If you're sitting in your house and you hear some drama going on, you're not seeing it from the very second that it happened. So this is why I guess the guy Sean Kelly was saying it looked like two women were fighting. It appeared that one woman looked like she was shooting, but then he kind of recanted and said, I don't really know. My problem with the video was this. My problem with the whole video was once he started talking about what he saw with the women were fighting, somebody was kicking, a woman was crawling out, of the car. But as soon as there was a section or a portion where they were like, hey, well, what was the male's involvement? The video just cut off. So it was like we weren't able to hear the full context of what was happening, right? Like the witness was saying what was happening with the women, but as soon as it got to what happened with the male that got out of the car, the video just completely shut down. So it doesn't give us a full picture of what was happening. Now let me say this. Kelsey got on the stand. Kelsey told the government initially that Tory shot Meg. You can sit down and argue about it as much as you want. But in the beginning of the situation when it happened, the whole problem that is happening is that when this incident took place, Meg initially said she stepped on glass. And so here you have a situation where people are saying, was she shot or did she step on glass? Well, it was determined that was a lie. It was determined that she made that up because at the time she was trying to protect, right, Tory Lanez. She said she was afraid of police. That was her first mistake. That was her first line, and that was her first mistake, not being honest about what happened. Because now this particular statement has been caught on camera and is being used against her and weaponized, right, in the situation. Now, initially, when the situation took place, Kelsey sent a text message to the bodyguard, Meg's bodyguard, saying, help, Tory shot Meg. That bodyguard has since decided not to speak on the situation. The driver, Quan, who was actually there, right, Tory Lanez's driver, he's saying he saw everything except for who shot Meg, right? He saw everything for who shot Meg. So he's out here saying he don't know what happened. So you have Kelsey who got amnesia. You got the driver who's now saying he don't know who did what. You got Meg's bodyguard who went and got missing and went to Tahiti, right? Meg herself initially said she stepped on glass only to recant the story, and then obviously the hospital saying this doesn't look like a glass incident. These are bullet fragments in your foot, right? This whole thing is basically turned into a shit show because people weren't being honest about what was happening at the time, right? Even Meg, when she had that interview with Gayle King, lied and said she never slept with Tory, only to come back to say she slept with Tory. She's been in my opinion, not that she deserved to be shot, but she has led to her own narrative of being inconsistent and not being truthful. She's actually fed that narrative as well. Even if Tory was dead wrong or what have you, she's been very instrumental in hurting her own credibility. Credibility is everything, right? And when you have cases like this, the one thing they're going to try to do is they're going to try to attack your credibility and place reasonable doubt. And this is a game of reasonable doubt. And this is all because the people that are involved in this situation weren't telling the truth about what happened. Even Tory initially said she wasn't even shot, only to come back and say he didn't shoot her, that Kelsey shot her. Even after he got on social media and made a statement through Shade Room that Kelsey didn't do it. Would I like to see a retrial where no one's given immunity? Why was Kelsey given immunity? In my mind, energetically, in my opinion, I feel that Kelsey was given immunity because she took some type of bribe. Because she was going to be exposed for having not been honest in this situation. I feel that Tory, she said she was offered $1 million. I feel that something was offered to Kelsey. And this is why she pled the fifth or took immunity, limited immunity. Limited immunity, for anybody who's still confused about that doesn't give her full protection. That means she can still be charged if they feel that she was technically the shooter. Limited immunity does not give her complete protection. Someone can still go back and charge her for anything, right? But in my mind, and I've done readings on this, I feel she took a bribe. I feel she took something, even though she tries to deny it. She took a bribe, and this is why she got the immunity. What's sad about Kelsey is this. What's sad about Kelsey is that I don't care how much my sister pissed me off, my friends pissed me off. It's not enough to make me turn on a person not to tell the truth. Because what she has done is she's let her pride lead her to destroying her own name, her own image, destroy her face. That is the most important thing you can have, is your integrity, your morality, the way you show up in the world. And she's allowed that to be destroyed because of her pride, because of her whatever deal she cut with the devil. That's what's sad about Kelsey. And what's sad is that she has refused to tell the truth over pride and over whatever deal she cut, right? That she took that limited immunity. So, would I like to see a retrial? I would. I would like to see a retrial with everybody being forced to go to court, with nobody getting immunity, with everybody being threatened to jail. I would love to see that. Would I love to see a victim be re-victimized? No. But I think that everybody has been instrumental in this story becoming very convoluted, right? Very convoluted. When you look at the situation, initially, there's so much confusion around it because of people not being honest. And even when the trial happened, the driver got missing, the bodyguard got missing, Kelsey got amnesia, right? Everything, it seemed like there was a lot of manipulation going on. So, let's look into the messages really quickly and see, will Tory be successful in actually obtaining? Why isn't he doing an appeal? Like, that's the first thing. I mean, my mind is that he's not doing an appeal because, of course, on one hand you can say he feels like he won't get a fair chance from the government. I mean, from the court system. But on the other hand, I feel like he's not doing an appeal because he knows that if they really laid it out in court, it'll still show like he's guilty in some way. Why isn't Tory Lanez doing a full appeal? Why isn't he hasn't filed anything regarding an appeal since 2025. Why isn't he filing an appeal? The Lover's card, the Sun card, the Wheel of Fortune, the World card, the Seven of Swords, and then the Six of Pentacles. So let's talk a little bit about that. He feels it's going to fail, right? He feels it's going to fail. While he has a lot of public support, right? Social media support, public support. When it gets down to like it going back to like evidence, not what they're saying on social media, but physically, who was where, the position of the car. Even when they said that Kelsey was shooting in the car, there was no shooting in the car. There was the shooting occurred outside the car. The person was in the car. Like, for example, even if you wanted to say Tory did it, he was standing in the car, but he was shooting out the car. There was no shooting in the car. There was no bullets, holes in the car. There was no proof that people were inside a car and people were shooting in the car. Everything happened outside the car. So even if you go with that theory that Kelsey shot Meg inside the car, they proved that a shooting didn't actually occur inside the car. So he, in that Wheel of Fortune, that represents uncertainty for him. He feels if he goes to, even though like he has a lot of public support and people are coming out, he feels as if he takes this to court, that it will fail. The Seven of Swords is about someone trying to what? Manipulate. And then even in the Six of Pentacles, this represents treachery. So if he takes it to court and tries to file an appeal and tries to go through the process, they're going to just relook at that evidence again and say, okay, based on what's here, he is the main person. So he's looking at, this is why he's not filing an appeal. He's looking at the fact Chariot in Reverse is a failure. Chariot in Reverse is actually the vehicle. Chariot in Reverse is actually, it comes up as a failure. So he's scared to take a chance on it going back to court because he feels, especially in that Seven of Swords, that they're going to see through the holes in the story. Right? Quan is saying he saw everything except who shot Meg. Right? The other driver, he went to Tahiti and got missing. Kelsey, she got amnesia, won't say. The old man said he saw Tory shooting everywhere. Meg is saying, I seen him, right? Kelsey said initially that he shot her and told the bodyguard, help, he did it. So too much is pointing towards him, right? When you talk about how he crossed over from where he was sitting to where Kelsey's sitting, you got to think this is one of these big SUVs that celebrities use when they're places. He's a skinny, small guy, right? The chances of that happening, that's not unrealistic. People cross to each other. Shit, I saw a lady dropping her daughter off from school and literally crossed over the seat as her daughter was getting out. I've seen this the other day. It's not impossible. Give me the energy around the pardon. Oh, let me switch cards. I want to do these cards. Will Tory Lanez, he's gotten a lot of support on social media. A few of his celebrity friends, a lady, she's a former stripper, congresswoman. Amber Rose, she's also a former stripper. I think he's got Tommy Lauren, a former Republican. She's a Republican. And then this people who dad was just in prison for fraud. What's his name? Chrisley's daughter. Give me the energy around. Will he be successful in getting a pardon from Governor Gavin Newsom? I think that's who they're trying to go through, Spirit. Tory Lanez, Daystar Peterson. Will he be? And I'm going to just let the cards speak for themselves. He has the Queen of Swords. That's female support. He has the Five of Swords to defend himself. He has the Judgment card, the Queen of Wands, the Eight of Cups, Hermit, and then he has the Four. I think those people really pushing it, he could have like a chance to be heard. The Queen of Swords is like saying an unbiased judgment, somebody looking at it independently, to, how you want to say, to defend his position, to have discernment over the situation. This can represent, again, an independent person, but then it comes up with, after looking at all of the facts and what's happened, it still shows a disappointment, and it still shows him being isolated. So it almost makes you feel like people can really like rise for him, support him. Queen of Swords, unbiased judgment. People with open mind, more like getting more ears into it. Somebody to defend, judgment. Somebody to listen. Queen of Wands, somebody to determine. But when you look at it, this actually shows disappointment, and this shows continue to be isolated. So it almost makes you feel like they could evaluate it or look at it or look at both sides. I think it's fair, and this is what I would say to anybody that's dealing with this situation. Don't be one-sided. If you're gonna say you want to be fair to Tory, you got to be fair to Meg. And if you want to say you want to be fair to Meg, you got to be fair to Tory. What I mean by this, say for example, even this lady, the Congresswoman, you should be, before you go start taking up fights for people, you should be saying, let me talk to Meg's side, let me talk to Tory's side. Let me look at both sides and let both sides present to me the case. Because what's going to happen is, even if they look at his situation, they're going to be looking at it from both sides. And this is where you're going to fall short, because what happens is you're having this one-sided view of what happened. But when you lay it all out, the big picture part of it, this is where you're going to fall short. It's best to, you can still support who you want to support, but it's best to look at it from a full view, because his Hermit card represents to continue to be isolated. Even in his Five of Swords, that Five of Swords could represent, now the Five of Swords could represent, Four of Swords could represent him still being in a situation, but it can also represent hope for maybe like after some time, some people get go through different programs, they get some time off, they may, I don't want to say resentencing, but there could be some he still will do time, right? Give me the energy around Tory Lanez receiving a pardon. Again, it shows a failure towards the end, but give me the absolute response to it. And he has the Hangman in reverse that talks about a pause, right? Give me the energy around it. Again, and he has a tower moment. So it talks about a tower moment. It talks about a tower moment. So we'll see. Would I love for him to do an appeal? To me, a pardon gives you, it lets you free, but it still is saying you're still holding the burden of that case. I would love to see it. I would love to see it be retried, but I do understand that a victim, who wants to be re-victimized in the situation? Who wants to keep going through this every week? So anyway, this is Chris Blue Nola. This is on the Tory Lanez situation. I know I've been long-winded. Take care, stay blessed, encourage and empower. And don't forget, you can book with me at BlueNolaTarot.com. Peace and blessings. Bye.